news. We cover news.
Today, someone is dead.
That someone is no longer alive.
This is what happens when a person dies.
That dead someone is no other than the very dead, the Mr. Body. But first, Stephanie with the weather. Thanks for the weather, Stephanie. But first, more on the body with Serena.
Investigators found the Mr. Body lying in a puddle of his own saliva. They concluded that he had choked on his own spit to the point of death. But then a very intelligent and insightful chemistry teacher,
Miss Sanchez.
proclaimed that it was actually a chemical.
And then we're all like, oxygen and magnesium, a chemical?
Now back to Stephanie with the traffic report.
Thanks for the traffic report, Stephanie.
Now more on the dead, the Mr. Body.
Who is dead?
But before we go into that, it's time for the joke of the day.
Hi, Serena.
Hi, Ben.
What do you do with a dead chemist?
Do you bury him?
Ha! But first, let's go to Stephanie for a lesson on how to catch jellyfish.
Thanks for the advice, Stephanie. Now more on the Mr. Body.
After some investigations and 2 games of poker, the police concluded that Tammy Tangerine, the very lovelorn piece of citrus fruit, murdered Mr. Body by making him ingest calcium chloride.
Well, that's not very appealing.
Yeah, that's not very good at all.
Orange, you glad the tangerine didn't come after us?
Yeah, it's just peachy.
But seriously, fruit is important.
It's good for your eyes, mouth, head, stomach, legs, shoulders, and kidneys.
It's sad to think that the Mr. Body will never enjoy a piece of fruit ever again.
Yeah. Hey, Serena, how did chemists find out that it was all Tammy Tangerine who was a fruit ninja?
Well, Ben, like we said before, Mr. Body was found with a pool of an, at the time, unknown chemical around his lifeless face. First and foremost, the chemicals possessed by 7 suspects were collected for experimentation. Each chemical was then crossed with the other chemicals, producing 7 observable products per substance. The murder weapon found at the crime scene was then collected and reacted with the chemicals. Only one substance, CaCl2, demonstrated a reaction with other chemicals identical to the ones facilitated by the murder weapon. Therefore, police were able to conclude that the calcium chloride was the murder weapon. However, 2 of the suspects possessed this chemical, Miss Scarlet and Tammy the Starfruit. Next...
Wait! It's time for Kids Pop Karaoke with Stephanie! Thanks, Stephanie. That was beautiful.
As I was saying, the police next turned their attention to molarity, a good identifying chemical trait. Tammy the pineapple under the sea CaCl2 solution was 0.1 moles per liter, and Miss Scarlet's CaCl2 solution was 0.05 moles per liter. The next step was to determine the molarity of the murder weapon. A precipitant from a reaction using CaCl2 was filtered out en masse. It was found to be 0.05 grams. The police then used stoichiometry to calculate moles of the murder weapon. The murder weapon turned out to be a 0.1 molar solution, the exact same thing as Tammy the Cantaloupe's solution.
Thanks, Serena. But that was really boring. But I guess this news story receives a 10.
But not on the pH scale, because that would make it basic.
Thank you for watching our news show. We are the news. We'll see you tomorrow on the news, when we'll tell you more about the news.
Bye!
Bye. But first, Stephanie with the weather. Thanks, Stephanie, for the weather. Now, on the more on the crap.
Orange, you glad the tangerine didn't come after us?
Yeah, it's just peachy.
Sure.
Miss Sanchez.